Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show here on STV. The main talking points on tonight's programme is the clock ticking on Gordon Strachan's future as Scotland manager. Rangers boss Mark Warburton says there are bigger problems in Scottish football that need to be addressed. And Hearts Stadium gets the all clear for the redevelopment of the main stand from the City Council. That's just a few of the topics we'll be discussing. Alan Ruff is alongside me, Peter Martin. I'm delighted to see our room guest is Falkirk midfielder John Rankin. Okay, lots to talk about after the scoreline last night, which certainly haunted more than a few of us. It ended up Slovakia 3, Scotland 0, and the disappointment there for all to see from last night's performance. High hopes of maybe taking at least a point, some suggesting a win. I have to say, I thought Slovakia would win the game, and based on what we all said last night on the programme, it's only right and proper that we look over one of the most telling points in the programme, which was, of course, Alan Ruff talking about a result which would just be unacceptable. This is Alan with Archie McPherson last night.
So it's going to be difficult. I don't think he's there for the sacking out.
No, I think it would have to be a heavy defeat. I think it would have to be maybe 3-0 or something like that. But again, with these two games, hopefully we were all looking at 6 points. We would probably settle for 4. If it's 2 or 1, then you know the pressure's on, and you don't want to go into an England game with pressure. You don't want to be going down there with the media against the team, the supporters against the team. You want to get down there with a bit of hope and believe that you can get something.
So he stays if there's a point?
Unless it's 3-0.
A heavy defeat.
It's that kind of punditry really you don't get on any other programme. So let's cut to the chase with the man now. Should Gordon Strachan be sacked, Ruffy?
Well, can you give me just 5 or 10 seconds just to explain myself? I'm going to turn myself into Judge Ruff.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be a judge here, and as judges do, I'm going to call Gordon Strachan in front of me and I say, Gordon, yesterday I said that if we were beaten 3-0, you would have to stand down. But since I've said that, as good judges do, I'm going to take things into consideration. I think for your service to the game as a player, for your, I have to say, in the last 2 or 3 years, you've made us a better team. I don't agree with the results that we're getting. You're one of my pals. So I'm going to defer. I'm going to defer sentence for another game. I think you deserve that. I think you do. But I have to say, if you don't get a win or you don't get a draw in the next game, I think you have to stand down and let somebody else take the reins. And there is somebody I think would be quite good in doing it, and that is Alec McLeish. Yeah.
Ruffy, I'll cut to the chase with you, because at the end of the day we've got a great friendship and it'll survive my next line. What a load of codswallop from you, because quite simply we're looking for an opinion. You made it last night. Should he go? You said 3-0. I knew you were going to fudge the issue. And you remember, by the way, I've worked with some really hard pundits, but you are not one of them. Because quite simply, at the end of the day, we're now in a game, John, where Gordon Strachan is 3 games into a campaign where he was given a contract. He's lost 1 game and people want him sacked. Now, we can digest and discuss his failings, which I think there are a couple which I'm not happy with. But I don't think he's going to stand down. That's the first thing. I don't think he should be sacked right now, not when you're 3 games into a campaign. You know, what do we do? Do we then give it to another manager to go through another transitional period?
No, I don't think so. I agree with you. I don't think he should be sacked either. I don't think he should walk away. As you say, we're only 3 games into this campaign. Albeit, it doesn't look a lot of hope at this moment in time, although we are only 3 points off the top. We've got some difficult games to come. Obviously, England, both home and away, who look favourites to win the league, win the section actually. But the favourable thing at this moment in time, I don't know if you agree with me or not, I don't think England are firing on all cylinders. I think there's problems in that camp as well. And I think we can go down there and get some sort of result, not because we're great or we're doing well at this particular time, but because England are causing themselves problems. I mean, Malta are not a bad team by any manner of means, but for England only to win 2-0 and the players at their disposal, they're not anywhere near playing to their capabilities, and I think Scotland can go down there, and fingers crossed, we've been here before, but hopefully they can capitalise on that.
OK, there's a number of pundits again, and I'll be straight to the point with this. A number of pundits have suggested that Scotland could go down to Wembley and do something because England maybe are bang average. They're not great. They won't do anything in the World Cup. I think that's plainly obvious if you watch their team and the quality that they have at their disposal. I don't think Scotland can get anything from Wembley either, Ruffy. My problem with Gordon Strachan is I think he's rigid in his setup of his team, and it doesn't seem to me as if he will move away from. He always looks to that experience. Last night looked like a solid 11 players. You've got Marshall, you've got Patterson, Martin, Hanley, Tierney, Fletcher, Bannon, Ritchie, MacArthur, Snodgrass and Stephen Fletcher. Now let me read this team out to you. Marshall, Hutton, Martin, Mulgrew, Robertson, Anya, Morrison, Brown, Maloney, Naismith and Fletcher, all experienced players who lost to Georgia by 1-0. I think he's going to have to show that he can change this team to a different format to try and make them, have an edge in that final third. Because quite simply, if we don't have an edge in the final third, the two centre halves will give them a goal.
Yeah, well, as I said yesterday, and wrongly again, I said I don't think that Gordon has got a team that would be turned over. And again, I was wrong yesterday. We were turned over. We were turned over quite easily. In the last campaign, I thought we were very, very hard to break down. I thought we looked very competent on the ball. We were keeping possession, particularly against Poland and the away games we had. We looked good. I just feel as if that looks as if it's all gone. And then we hear the players coming out after the game saying, tactically we're fantastic, no stone is unturned, we actually all know what we're doing and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't look that way when we end up on the park. I mean, the two goals that we lost were, I can see Gordon Strachan, standing there shaking his head because he probably is doing everything he is doing on the training ground. But then when we go into a game, it just seems to go all out the window. And I think it's now apparent now. A lot of people thought we wouldn't miss Scott Brown. Scott Brown is a massive loss to that team. There is no energy in the team. When Scott Brown was in the team, at least you had somebody who was chasing, harrying, biting. There was none of that at all. Yeah,
it's not the be-all and end-all, and forgive me for this other left hook to you. I think if you're suggesting Alex McLeish, I think we're going back the way. And no disrespect to Alec, I think we can't look back the way now. We're already talking about guys like Paul Lambert. I think, John, you mentioned Michael O'Neill. Why would Michael O'Neill leave Northern Ireland to come to the backwater of Scotland at the moment?
Yeah, that's my point entirely. I don't think Michael O'Neill would leave Northern Ireland to come here. I really don't. At this moment in time, Northern Ireland are in a lot better position than what we are. They got to Germany last night, albeit they came off the back of a 2-0 defeat. But from what I can gather, the supporters were proud. They were really proud of the way they played. And at this moment in time, if you'd ask the Tartan Army how they felt about the Scotland team, I don't think they would say proud would be the word.
Yeah. At this point, I think also, while I'm defending him and while I would suggest to you that I don't think he should be sacked and I think he should be given the campaign, I do think I can see the Tartan Army and I can see other people now swaying and saying no. Now it's going to become, I think it's going to become nasty, as it always does with Scotland managers. If England at Wembley doesn't go the way that I think it will, then I think you'll start to get the poisonous element to it, and that's when I think Gordon will think maybe enough's enough.
Yeah, well, that's what you're hoping is not going to happen, because we all know that he is wholly committed to the cause. There's no doubt about that. And, he has his wee run-ins with the media and that, but the players are fully behind and they're enjoying everything he's doing. So we just need to get something out of that England game.
Here's what Gordon Strachan had to say about the form.
Your form can change. It's a long period, it's over a year. It's amazing how form can change over 2 weeks. If you're not in an actual football team, it's amazing why you can go from not doing so well at the things you're talking about, but doing very well a couple of weeks later. And form can change, players can come through, things can happen for you. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Form can change, but I think it would change if we had to look at changing the team, Ruffy.
Yeah, and he just said there, the players could come through. You know, when under 21s have just been beaten again. I don't think they've won a game. So there's nobody there who's going to come through. What he's got at his disposal is what he has to work with, and they have proved that on their day they can do it. But that just seems to be all over the place. You know, we used to have. You know, we knew the back four, we knew the five in the midfield, we knew the striker. I don't think he knows that himself now.
Okay, more on the Scotland debacle of last night and the other teams that were involved in our group. Apologies if you were hoping for a hard-hitting Ruffy. I had a feeling he was going to fudge it. Let's see if we can have a word with him for a harder Ruffy in the second part. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. Alan Ruff is with me, Peter Martin, John Rankin. The Falkirk midfielder is our boot-room guest. We'll talk domestic issues shortly. It's a disappointing result last night. We can analyse it, dissect it, discuss it, call for Gordon Strachan's head. I'm sure there are more than a few that would like a new man in charge. Who do you think that would be? At Peter and Ruffy on Twitter, facebook.com/Peter and Ruffy. Give us your view on if you think it should be a new face in there or Gordon Strachan should be given the time in the campaign that indeed he was offered in the contract. Give us your thoughts on that. As far as the result overall, just one quick thing, Ruffy. I thought maybe the goalkeeper was at fault for the first goal. I think Hanley was at fault for the third goal, the header. But the keeper, Marshall, pushed it out into the Slovakian striker's path. Should he have done better? Held it? Am I being too harsh?
No, I don't think so. I think you're maybe being a bit harsh. I think he makes the save. He's decided, you know, that he's trying to get the ball out of the area. Unfortunately, it went to one of their players. It's not the first time it's happened. Sometimes 9 out of 10 you get away with it. It goes into space or when it goes to one of your defenders. But unfortunately, I thought he was let down with the defenders. Once he's made the save, it's up to the defenders to react to where the shot's coming from. And there was nobody within 5 or 6 yards of the boy hit it.
Yeah, there was quite a few in front of him though, John.
Yeah, but as Ruffy says, I mean, when Marshall gets his hand to it, I don't think they've read the second ball. I think they're all trying to get back onto the line rather than someone actually reading where the ball's going to bounce and maybe hook it clear. Having said that, I think the ball bounces and the boys actually get time to pick his spot, which is disappointing when you've got that many players back. But I think even you've got your midfielders in the middle of the six-yard box as well. So it's a disappointing goal to concede, albeit we probably should have had a free kick before that. But we need to get back into areas quicker and try and pick up the second ball. Yeah,
disappointment all round. Here's a word from Gordon Strachan again on who he feels sorry for.
Well, at this moment in time, the people who I feel sorry for are the players. To put so much work in it over the last couple of games and to get a little reward, they're the ones I'm feeling sorry for. They're the ones I'm thinking about. They're the ones I'm thinking, how do we protect them? How do we send them back to their clubs and feel good about themselves? They can't go back to their clubs think, we could have tried any more. Maybe could have passed the ball better on certain occasions. Maybe a couple of decisions. But as a group, really proud of them. The second group that you feel sorry for is the supporters that have come here tonight. You do feel for them. So that is what we are thinking about just now. So I'm not sitting here thinking about myself. I'm thinking about these lads and how do we look after them and how in the future we give supporters, which we've done on a couple of occasions, the last couple of years, something to sing and dance about when they're away from home. So that's the most important thing at the moment. So that's where my concentration lies.
Starting to look like the only singing and dancing we'll be doing, Ruffy, is Wembley week in November, the way the things are going here. Mark Warburton was speaking today ahead of Rangers' match on Friday up at Inverness. He reckons that the problems run far deeper. It's not Gordon Strachan's fault that there's a lot of talent he feels that's not been given the opportunity to progress in Scottish football.
Oh, I'd love to know who they are because Gordon has searched wide to get the players in there. You know, he's got scouts at every game in the Championship or whatever, looking and trying to identify new Scottish players. I think he's tapped into the majority of them, unless the Rangers manager can tell us who these players are. Then we can judge for ourselves the point he's trying to make.
Does he need a radical change for Wembley, or does he have to just tinker with 2 or 3 spaces, John?
I think he needs to go with the most experienced team he can possibly field. If I'm being honest, I don't see for the life of me why Charlie Adam isn't in the squad. We're crying out for Premiership players and Premiership experience, and you take Andy Robertson out the squad last night. Don't get me wrong, Kieran Tierney never done anything wrong, but he's got a lot of Premiership experience. I think he should be in the team. You get Charlie Adam, we've got Oliver Burke, Ross McCormick, who's been bought for big money. They're our best players in our country, or deemed our best players. I think we need to go with the most experienced team we can possibly do it, and then build from there, and hopefully we get a positive result.
Okay, just finally on this, let's have a look at the results from elsewhere, because as John mentioned there, England couldn't get past Slovenia. It was 0-0 there. Lithuania, we expected them to defeat Malta, Ruffy, but England 0-0 with Slovenia. I think suddenly it's Slovenia, Slovakia and potentially us, but you mentioned something over the last couple of days that quite simply those points that we're looking for to finish second are slowly diminishing.
Yeah, Gordon said it's a crazy group, and it is a crazy group with the points that we're seeing. But if it's one of these groups where, you know, they're all going to take points off each other, if Gordon's already identified that we're going for second in this group, we need to get enough points to be second. You know, and if you're dropping points all over the place, if we end up getting beat by England, we're going to have 4 points. And you would think to get into second place, you would need at least 18 points. So for the second half, we're going to have to pick up 14 points out of the 6 games that are remaining. And we can't do it now, so why should we be able to do it then?
Okay, sorry to paint such a gloomy picture, but it's been a tough 24 hours. There are positives. Well done to Richie Foran. He's the manager of the month for September. He's managed to turn things around quickly after a shaky start.
Yeah, he has. Obviously, Inverness started pretty poorly, but he's turned things around. I think it's a hard transitional period for Richie, because he shared a dressing room with all them players, and having to come out of that and then manage those players. I mean, a lot of them will be his mates, and he has to turn that round and then have a different relationship with them. Where before he was our captain, now he's our manager. I think he's got a good appointment there in having Brian Rice as his assistant. But he's done well the last 3 or 4 games, and he's maybe becoming a wee bit accustomed to it now, and learning how to go and get the best out of his players, because I mean that takes a lot of time. I'm not sure Richie will spend a lot of time on the training field, probably let Brian Rice do it, and then he's maybe gained enough experience from Brian, and I think he's got Scott Kelliger there in the background to also work with John Hughes to help him out. But congratulations to Richie, he's a very hard worker and deserves it with the results this month.
Yeah, a couple of things that I want to talk about. Obviously Falkirk, I'll get your thoughts in a moment, John, but Hearts, the City Council have given them the all clear to get the stadium underway. I think next month it should be a start towards getting it finished, the main stand, in 2017 in September of that year.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. We saw what Hibs did with their stadium. When it's full, it's a great stadium to play in. I think Tynecastle's even closer in, player-wise. I think you really know you're in a game, and with that stand being completed, I think it'll be a formidable stadium to play in.
Yep, okay, I'm going to hold my hands up, John. I've tipped Hibs to run away with that, but suddenly I'm looking at Falkirk, I'm looking at that old fox Peter Houston, and I'm thinking to myself, he could upset the apple cart here. Hibs are starting to look a wee bit shaky. You've got a big game against Dunfermline at the weekend. Yeah,
big game against Dunfermline at the weekend. I think as we speak, I think there's only 70 tickets left, so the fans have done really well to get the tickets snapped up. But as you say, I mean, Hibs have had a sticky patch the last, I think, 3-4 games, and now we need to capitalise on that. A wee bit disappointing result against St Mirren a couple of weeks ago, when we let a 1-goal lead slip late on, and we were hanging on for a point at that point. So it was disappointing, having been in the lead for so long in the game. But I mean, we've got high hopes for this season. But everyone else in the league is. It's a very difficult league, and we see some good teams. I mean, everyone always asks about the part-time teams with Dumbarton and Ayr. I've been really impressed with Dumbarton and Ayr. I really have. They've got good players there, players with high experience in a higher division, and it makes it for a right tough league. Hopefully we can pick up enough points to go and challenge and be there at the end of the season.
Yep, I think they're definitely going to be in the mix. Ruffy upsetting. I mean, Queen of the South certainly have surprised everybody at the start as well.
Yeah, I think as far as folk are concerned, I've said it on numerous occasions, I think there must be a hunger in that dressing room. You know, over the past 2 years, the success they've had with just getting that final push. You know, I would think now in the dressing room, the guys will remember how short they were last year and they'll want to do better. And I think that'll be the drive for the Falkirk side this year.
Yeah, and our old mate Jim Goodwin says he's going to continue as a player manager. Good luck with that, Jim. It's a tough thing to do, John, isn't it?
As I mean, I like Jim. I've got a lot of time for Jim. I've done my A licence with him about 3 years ago, but the type of character that Jim is, I mean, I can't see him subbing himself for a start if things aren't going too well. But I mean, good luck to him. It's great to see someone so young and so enthusiastic getting a manager's job so early in their career. I mean, Jim could play for many years. He's a fit boy, but delighted for him, and it's a good club at Alloa as well.
Okay, we're almost over. Gordon Strachan, stay or go?
I think he has to stay at this moment in time.
I think he has to stay as well, Ruffy. England could be the big one. Ruffy, at the end of the programme, stay or go?
Stay till the result of the England game.
There you are, absolutely fantastic. Don't forget, Ruffy will be back with some nice tales later on STV. Join us tomorrow if you can at 7. Good night.